When you guys started, there were 5 members, okay? And now there are...
I don't look like an elephant. Jeez,
How you, bro?
I can't.
When you guys started, there were 5 guys in the group, and now there are 4. As you're going through this footage of making the band, obviously Ashley Parker Angel was a big part of the TV show and the first formation of the group. As you were going through those highlights and editing the show tonight and everything, looking back on those memories, what does Ashley Parker Angel mean to O-Town?
I mean, he's a 1/5 part of it. I mean, he's just as important as all of us were as far as this was concerned. 25 years. I mean, Eric said it really great last night. I want to touch on what you were saying last night, Eric. That was good at the show.
It was great.
That was on the spot. I forgot what Eric said.
I blacked out. What did I say?
What did I say?
Oh, well, I was talking and I was thinking while everything was happening, and we sort of stick to a rough sketch of what the show is going to be at. So there's authenticity in tonight's show. So it was kind of roughly sketched out, and at the end of this segment, I was like, oh wow, we're going into our last song. And I just wanted everyone to just understand that, like, from an objective standpoint, yes, this version of O-Town is very different than the version from Making the Band. But we're celebrating a television show, and that television show wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the relationship between us 5 individuals, and before Dan, obviously us 4. And we developed a really strong bond, and we created something, and he was just as determined as we were at the time to make it work. So I would be remiss if I didn't mention him and thank him for being such a vital part of making all of our collective dreams come true. So I just want to shout out to him.
Yeah, well said, dude, well said. All right, let's get a little lighter now. Let's get a little lighter.
Yeah!
You guys were jumping around. I had to follow your lead here, okay? So there's obviously cameras around you 24/7 during this TV show. A lot of good stuff. Maybe some cringe stuff as well. Next fan question is from Jennifer Jen. She wants to know, what's the one thing each of you wishes you could edit out or change from Making the Band? Any season, any episode.
Can I go first?
Go ahead, go. Yeah.
Steal one of ours.
No, I have a new one. I wish that we could change all of the footage to widescreen 4K footage, because just the graininess of those videotapes and the digital download, it just makes us feel so ancient, and I'm just like, we're not that old. But we are.
I think the entire 3rd season was pretty cringe.
Really?
Yeah, because everything else felt. The 1st season was about as real as you could get, right? It was like the cameras were there all the time. The 2nd season, we were touring, we had just gone platinum, but that still felt pretty real. It didn't feel awkward. But the 3rd season, we had really taken off, and we were kind of, in some ways, over it. So everything was kind of like sketched out. And so when I look back, there was all these episodes that are not fun to watch. There's a whole bunch of like awkward things that were like pieced together and put together and kind of forced. I didn't feel like there was a lot of real in the 3rd season.
There's no through line in the 3rd season. You can literally watch the 3rd season in any order you want, and it's like you're not like, oh, I missed something. There was nothing to miss. Like, this was its own episode. This was its own episode. The only thing that was happening through the whole thing was Britney tour, but it wasn't like there was no timeline really for it. So, but I mean, I don't think it was crazy. There was still some fun things we did on there. Fun episodes.
You good fun?
You know?
Well, I'm just thinking about 3rd season. Like, we would never be able to make that today.
Right.
I'm thinking about Dan doing Twister.
Like, I'm gonna jump in the middle of it. The whipped cream
Stuff that has happened in the last few years, and you're watching that. Eric, what's your idea? What kind of contest should the girls do to win a date with you? I don't know, a banana eating contest. And the TV show was like, sure.
Like all producers. I did not come up with that idea.
But they did it. That's like on TV, and I just watched it like, wow.
See, that's all cringe, man.
I don't want my daughter to see that.
And we're not in 4Ds or 4K. So it doesn't like.
What D? You're thinking D? Bananas.
You know, one thing I don't know, I've been doing this forever, 3 seasons, were there hopes of a 4th season, or how were you told there wasn't going to be one?
So we were actually, so because the 3rd season was how it was, right? and MTV was playing all the, making the marathon, and the second album was about to come out. They wanted to do the fourth season, and they wanted to go back to being around like 24/7. They wanted the cameras to be around all the time, and it was tough. We didn't want to show that part of it. So we were actually in the process of like, okay, well, let's see what we can do. So we went to Mexico for like 3 days. They came down to try and like get footage. I tried to get as much as I could. I'm like, I'll go out. They wanted us to be like Jersey Shore. They wanted to see what we were like in the world now. Like, go out to bars. We want to see people, how they react when they see you. And like, we want to start getting that kind of stuff. And nobody wanted to do that. Nobody wanted to do that. So I went, this was before, I remember this very vividly. I had a pair of sunglasses, and they put on the makeshift, like, huge, like, camera, like, on top of my glasses. Not like, the metal ones that are built inside. This was like a big, it looked like walking around the bar. Yeah, Admiral, it's like spring break, and everyone's like, what the fuck is on here?
He walks up to a girl, hey ladies.
It was like just so weird, and
my eyes up here.
yeah. And Jacob and Ashley are like lighting shit on fire on the beach, and the cameras are just like, is this what it is? And it was kind of like we sabotaged it ourselves, and then they were just like, you know what, we're not going to do the fourth season, and we wanted to do music at that point.
We were actually in an MTV office, and we didn't know that this was like a scolding session for us. We kind of just showed up, and because we would always just be in MTV offices, right? And so we just show up, and I remember one of the producers comes in, and he looks wrecked. He's like disheveled, pissed, and I didn't read the room properly. And he's like telling us like, so what are we gonna do to sort of make this show better? And I like an open mouth enter-foot scenario. I'm like, I think the show's great. And he goes, I remember he hit the table. He's like, yeah, well the show is not great. And he got like really upset. Like, visibly upset with that comment because the ratings had dropped so low because the show didn't have that sense of urgency, that sense of there weren't enough stakes.
Yeah.
Right, the stakes weren't there.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's what season 3 suffered from.
Okay, I gotcha. You kind of touched on it. Go ahead. No,
I was just gonna say, had we let them come back in and do that fourth, like the stakes would have just automatically appeared.
Yes.
If we would have just allowed them to come back in, because that's just how our life was. Because we didn't want that to.
We were actually like blowing up poop on the beach. We thought they'll get over this.
Okay.
Just find some horse poop, we'll blow it up. They'll get over this. And as soon as they're like, you guys are just gonna do this, we're like, yeah. Okay, we're wrapped. And they walk away, and I was like, okay, let's go party. Let's go. And then we'd have our fun. But we were like, I don't want that anymore. We wanted to just be artists and sing and have our private.
I get it. Trevor, you kind of touched on